Hello dear students, I am Dr. Chandrakala HD. In this video, I'll be presenting part B of session 1 from the topic data communication. In this video, you'll be learning what is the need of the networks and what are the services offered by the computer network. The contents of this video are need of computer networks, services of computer network. Now, let's understand what is the need for computer networks. So, the world has become a small global village today because of computer networks, because two people who are geographically very far apart, maybe in two different countries or two different continents, they can connect with each other on a computer network and share data between them. Also, the computer network can establish communication between physically scattered users. Not only this, computer network can increase the reliability of processing and communication through its backup and recovery service. So any data or softwares can be backed up on a computer network. Backed up means you can create a duplicate copy of those data and store it elsewhere, so that if the original copy is lost, the lost data can be recovered from its backed up copy. So this is one important service available, benefit available through the computer network. Hence, computer networks are needed for reliable service. So any data or any software can be reliably safeguarded and stored on the servers of the computer network. On computer network, a centralized management of data is available. So all the data is kept on centralized servers. Say we have Gmail server, we have Google server, we have Facebook server. So for each such application, there is a dedicated centralized server, and all data regarding that particular application is maintained on that particular server. So since there is centralized management of data, you need not keep data on the nodes or computers which are connected to those servers. All data is available on servers. Whenever the data is required by any of the connected users, they can directly use a copy by accessing it through the server, and they need not maintain all the data on the particular system. Every data is kept on a server, which is a more powerful computer, which has huge storage capacity and computational capacity. Not only this, computer networks provide distributed processing of tasks. So what is distributed processing? So in distributed processing model, the tasks or computational jobs which need to be performed are subdivided into smaller subtasks, and they are assigned to the different computing facilities or computers on the network, which are connected on the network. And these tasks are parallelly performed by all the computers who have been assigned the task and connected on a computer network. So in a smaller unit of time, more amount of processing can be done. So since the subtasks are performed on various computers which are connected globally, the problem of the computational tasks can be solved faster. That's one more main benefit of computer networks. So through computer networks, people who are geographically far apart and physically scattered, they are capable of communicating instantaneously with each other. All the data and softwares, they are managed on centralized servers, which has good backup and recovery capability, so that the data can be kept reliable and available 24/7. And distributed processing can be done on the computer network, so that the complex computational tasks are subdivided into subtasks and they are performed by many computing devices which are connected on the computer network, so that the problem can be solved faster. Hence, the computer networks are pretty much needed for the world today. Now, moving on to the different types of network services. The computer networks provide 4 different types of services. They are directory services, file services, communication services, and application services. Now let's learn each of these in detail. The first one, directory services. So this service, the directory service of the computer network, it performs some of the jobs which are required for the users of the network. Like the directory services creates credentials for users of the network, like username, passwords, and granting the users with privileges, rights, and access permissions. So all these are taken care by the directory services of the computer network. Not only these, directory services also provides 3 more important services like the accounting, authentication and authorization, and domain name services. So the accounting task of directory service keeps track of details of the users of the network. Details like the username, password, the login time, logout time, the amount of resources utilized by the user, all these are kept track. An account of all these will be maintained by the directory service or the accounting function of the directory service. The next important function of directory service is authentication and authorization. So here, the users are validated before they get connected to the computer network. So any user, they have to type in their username and password, which will be checked by the directory services to make sure that the user is an authorized user who has access to the resource. Only those users who provide the correct username and passwords are treated to be genuine or authentic users, and then they are provided access to the network. So this is very important as the user data has to be secured on the computer network, because there are multiple users which are using the network at a time. So their data needs to be safeguarded by unauthorized access. So hence, authentication and authorization is an important function of directory service. The next important service under directory services is domain name service. So whenever we have to access some network functions or some websites, for example, we make use of some website names like www.gmail.com to access Gmail, www.google.com to access Google, and so on. So these are called as domain names. All the websites will be having their domain names. So these domain names are easy for the users to remember. But on a network, each website will be recognized by its IP address, which is a numerical address, and it is difficult to remember for the network users. The domain name service acts as an intermediary. The user gives the domain name, and the domain name service converts it to the IP address, maps it to the IP address by checking its lookup table, and provides a connection to the web server. So domain name service is also very important function under directory service. Next, moving on to the second type of network service, file service. So file service is very important because exchange of data is the most important benefit which we have using the computer network. So data is exchanged in terms of files. So file is a template for the data. So data is nothing but your text, numbers, images, audio, or video. So you can exchange any of these types of files through the computer networks. So file services provides 2 different functions for the network users: file sharing and file transfer. File sharing enables the users to share files across the network to multiple users. So the files are shared on the network and all intended users can utilize the content. Whereas file transfer function, it allows two individual users or two computers to exchange files in between each of them. So it's a one-to-one exchange of files under file transfer. So the best analogy for this is your WhatsApp. So WhatsApp ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೇ ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ನ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಿವಿ. ಸೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲೋ, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫೈಲ್ ನ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಟು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೇ ಒನ್ ಟು ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್. ಟೀಚರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಸೆಂಡ್ a file to an individual student. I can send it through my personal window to the student's personal window. That is one-to-one file transfer. So under file services, we have file sharing and file transfer functions. Next, we have communication services. There are 5 different communication services which are very popular today: email, social networking, internet chat, discussion boards, and remote access. So communication services basically help for exchange of information, easy exchange of information among the users. The first communication service, email service, is quite popular today to exchange data. So there are several email servers like Gmail server, Yahoo server, Rediff mail server, so on. So the users of these email servers will be given email IDs. Through these unique email IDs, two users can send and receive messages using these email ID. So you can exchange simple text messages, or you can transfer any video, audio, or any image files on the particular email server. So the maximum limit for data transmission on email is 24 MB. Data larger than that can be either zipped or they can be put onto a Google Drive, and the link can also be shared. So that is the communication service, which is email service. The next communication service is social networking. So social networking apps are very popular today. Some of the social networking apps are WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, so on. So these particular social networking sites or apps, they are very helpful for the users to share data among each other. The next communication service is internet chat. Internet chat allows users to instantly exchange text messages. Okay, two different users can instantaneously chat using these apps. Some of the internet chatting apps are, of course, your WhatsApp. You can do instant chatting on Telegram. Even your Gmail provides for instant internet chatting. So this is one service which is very helpful for users to instantaneously exchange information. Next type of communication service is discussion boards. So discussion boards, they're very helpful to connect multiple people who have similar interests together, so that they can establish a forum for discussion on internet and discuss and resolve issues which are of common interest to them. So the next communication service is remote access. So nowadays, remote access is also a powerful communication service. So today, any user can log into other users' computer remotely. Say two users who are connected on network, but they are located in two different countries or two different states or two different districts, for example, they can see the desktop screen of each other's computer through specialized apps like you have TeamViewer. Say using such an app, one user can directly get access to the computing device or computer which is located elsewhere remotely. And once a user logs into such remote computer, he can do whatever job, whatever tasks the particular user of the remote computer can do, just like as if he is sitting in front of the remote computer. So he can edit any data, he can modify any softwares, or if there is any problem in the system, he can repair the system. So all these things, particularly software errors, can be corrected. So repair is not the hardware repair, it's the software repairs which can be done, or any installation or uninstallations, they can be performed remotely. So remote access is also one of the important communication service. The fourth type of service provided by the networks is application service. Under application services, we have three important services: resource sharing, database, and web services. So one main advantage of computer network is resource sharing. So n number of computers who are connected on a common computer network, they can share softwares and hardwares. Say some 100 computers which are connected through a common network, they can use a single printer, for example. So out of those 100 computers, any computer can issue a print request to the common printer. Okay, when it comes to hardware like printer or projector which are shared on a computer network, distance is a criteria. So within a small room, say for example, if there are some number of computers which are networked, they can share common hardware devices. But when it comes to softwares, there is no limit of distances. Many softwares which are licensed and difficult to buy, they are available on the network, freely available on the computer network, and any user who is connected to the network, they can make use of those softwares directly without installing them on the computer. Whatever network softwares are available, they can be virtually utilized by the network users. Hence, an efficient and economical resource sharing can be achieved using the computer network through the resource sharing application service. The next service is database. So on the computer network, a centralized database can be maintained on the server. All data can be stored on a centralized server. All data processing can be done on the server itself, and the other computers which are connected to the servers, they can retrieve whatever data they want easily. They can query the data in whatever way they want. So the best example of such databases are your online shopping accounts. Say when you, if you have an Amazon shopping account or your Flipkart account, Myntra account, you will have a personalized account through which you can access your previous history, buying history. Okay, previously what all items you have bought, what is the cost, when the order was placed, when was it delivered, every information can be tracked. So that information actually is not kept on your mobile or computer. The information is kept on the server of the online shopping portal, say Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart, whatever it is. So the data is kept on the centralized server, in the database of the centralized server, whereas the users are simply querying it or accessing it whenever they want without actually storing the information on their device. So that is what the database service means. The third important application service is the web service. World Wide Web, it's nothing but a synonym for today's internet. On World Wide Web, www, you can find any information, simply any type of information you want, you can access on World Wide Web. So World Wide Web is used to connect to the internet and seamlessly access files and informations and services of the computer network or data communication system through internet services. Through internet servers. So web service is a very important application service which is quite popular today. So in this video, we learned what is the need for networks and what are the different types of services provided by the network. So we learned 4 types of network services. Namely, we learned application services, communication services, file services, and directory services. Hope you all understood this particular session. Thank you.